Okay, welcome, it's smoothie time. We're making a smoothie that comes courtesy of my good friend Ben Greenfield, and this smoothie is pretty elaborate, and the name in and of itself is elaborate, so I'm actually gonna look at the name on my iPhone, which has a cookbook on it, and it's the incredible high-fat, low-carb, nutrient-dense, chewable smoothie. So Ben recommends making this smoothie really thick so you could actually eat it with a spoon. I'm not a huge fan of that, so I'm gonna add a little bit more liquid in. That's why I've got the almond milk just in case. But everything we need is here. Again, the specific breakdowns are in the recipe if you want to follow that to the T. I'm just going to kind of eyeball stuff, so we'll play with it. So first thing we're going to use is about 4 cups of kale. So again, we're going to remove the kale from the stem. This has already been washed. Throw it into the Vitamix. By the way, Vitamix, this is the best investment you could ever make if you're looking for a blender. It will chop everything, including ice, iPods, rocks, everything to dust. It's really amazing. And if you don't have it, that's okay. You know, Blend Tech is really good as well. And even if you just have a regular blender, then that should be able to do the trick for pretty much everything you need as well. So I'm just gonna put that out there. See, in the way I see it, there are blenders and then there are Vitamixes. It's kind of a different category altogether. So, okay, we got our kale in. Kale, an amazing source of vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin everything, and obviously alkalinity, which is really important. Next, we're going to take half an avocado, and this one is still a little bit solid, but the Vitamix will take care of that. So throw that in. So again, we're getting some good healthy fats. Just in case you're wondering, Ben is a triathlete. He has done, I mean, like, who knows, hundreds of triathlons, and he's always on the cutting edge of nutrition, and he's always experimenting with himself, so it's pretty cool to see his concoctions. We're going to use about half a can of coconut milk, so more awesome fat in there for us. So as you can tell right now, there's really no other liquid other than the coconut milk, which is really not that liquidy. So it's going to be pretty thick. That's why I'm going to put in a bit of almond milk just to add a little bit of liquidity to this. I've got my almonds that have been soaking overnight in water, and I've talked about this, how they become a little more plump when you do that. The protein also becomes more bioavailable, which is good, and it's easier to chop everything up in the Vitamix. So that's about half a cup. We'll put a little bit more in to make it a full cup or so, and that's the almonds. We're also going to throw in some shredded coconut, which is a nice kind of texture and flavor enhancer type of thing. Again, I just eyeball everything. I don't even know if I have measuring cups at home. We've got some raw cacao powder. So this is essentially the raw ingredient for chocolate. I'm going to put in we'll call that 1.5 tablespoons. Add in some cinnamon. Cinnamon is really the miracle spice. I had to double check. I thought it was cumin for a second. That would have made things very interesting. And Ben also calls for some protein powder of any kind. I don't have any protein powder. I don't really use it that often. So I'm going to use hemp seeds or hemp hearts, which are one of the best sources of protein you'll ever find. Very, very high source. 3 tablespoons is about 15 grams of protein, which for most people is about 1/4 to 1/5 of their daily requirement of protein. And it's a very good source of healthy omega-3 fatty acids and fiber. So we'll put in about 2 tablespoons or so. So now everything is in there. I'm going to add some almond milk just to allow this to blend up a little bit more. And again, I can always add almond milk in as we go. So we'll just start with that, see how it goes, and then, you know, we'll add if we need to. Okay, so you ready? Here we go. We're gonna add in some more milk. And normally there's a black plunger type of thing with the Vitamix. I don't have mine, so I'm just gonna add in a little bit more. And definitely do not put in a knife into the Vitamix. This is a mistake that I made a long time ago. I actually put this in the Vitamix as it was going, and it cut the blade in half. So don't do it while it's running. Okay, So if you run into this type of issue and you don't have your plunger, then you're just gonna take this off and you can just move everything around with your knife off of the machine so that when it gets up and going, it'll be a lot easier to mix around. I'm gonna add a little bit more liquid in. And I think we should be okay this time. So if it's still struggling, add a little bit in. And let's try it again. So it really does help if you have the plunger in this case, but that's okay. We'll just move it around manually and then we'll reset and reload. And if you make a mess, it's all good, as long as you clean it up. Now we're talking. Okay, let's give this a shot. Now you'll notice that there's really no sweetness added to this. There's no dates, there's no stevia, there's no maple syrup, nothing like that. If you feel you need any of that, then by all means you can add it in, just don't go crazy with it. So you can tell this is green, kind of thick, even though there is some cacao in there. So let's give this a shot. That's good. I would definitely add a little bit of maybe some dates in there, maybe a little bit of stevia just to sweeten it up a little bit, unless you really enjoy the taste of kale and avocado. But very nice, very filling, excuse me, very filling, very substantial, and obviously full of amazing ingredients to start your day. So give that a shot. And Ben, thank you very much for your contribution, and bon appetit.